Hello everyone and welcome to the Grove. My name is Hawk and today I'm doing a video about this shulker because I need to figure out because I wanted to post something this week and this is what ended up happening. So I won't be able to say all of the things in my shulker directly or fully explain them because I don't want to spoil anything. So expect this to be just me giving a mystery to everyone who's watching this video and a little more details, whether directly or indirectly. So let's get into the contents. Firstly, it's green because I like green, and I'll be sneaking green into every one of their outfits. Their name is SB Hawkley. The S and the B do stand for something, but not something that I will reveal at this time. And I think this is the same for Lorecraft, I'm not entirely sure. There are some similarities between the two characters. Next is they, them. That's their pronouns. They are they, them, because my pronouns are they, them, and it just feels more comfortable to do that. So, their childhood is represented by a villager egg and this green tunic. Then their sort of, I don't want to say inciting instant, but it's close enough to incite an instant, is referenced by an ominous banner and a dark oak sapling. Then you also have a totem, which then leads into three eggs, spawn eggs, which is an LA, one which is a phantom, and one which is an evoker. And the relationship between those three spawn eggs and the previous one will be a clip which I'll put on screen. And then you have a bookshelf. I didn't know how else to represent this area in their life, and they like reading a lot, so it makes sense. Then you have a fire charge, because I wasn't sure how to represent fire, but it's meant to represent fire specifically. Then, of course, they were wandering around. This is what led them to end up being a nomad. And then you have Goat Plushie, which is named Mouse. This is actually a reference to two things. One, the character of Mouse, which is a goat spirit that follows them around, but is also representative of the goat plush I have in real life. I was trying to figure out like a good goat head, and I found there's a goat plush head on the hat head website. So yeah, goat plushie. That's yeah, representing Mouse, his little ghost LA creature that follows me around. Because my character can talk to spirits. And so somewhere in this period, they ended up having uh, the goat mouse um, following them. And fun fact about mouse and their name, uh, I literally they didn't have a name for a while, the plushie itself, except I wanted to like cuddle with it one time during bed, and I was trying to figure out like, oh, where's mouse? Except in my mind, I called the goat mouse. I'm like, it's not a mouse. It's a goat. But I need a name for the plushie anyway because I like naming my plushies, and so it just ended up with the name Mouse. Moving on. My character does eventually go into the Nether, so they do know that the Nether exists. I like campfires in general, so I decided to just put a soul campfire. That's when they meet a firekeeper guy who used a wand to control his fire powers. And then they did end up leaving the uh, the blaze, the fire guy, ended up finding love when they settled down in in a village, because after meeting the blaze guy, they had a little more. It's not a blaze guy. I'm just calling him a blaze guy because I have a blaze rod to represent him. Uh, you have they found love in a village because they ended up opening themselves up to emotions. But of course, someone had to ruin it. If you wanted to know what the horn sounds like, it is this. Use that information how you will. But regardless, they ended up leaving, and this is where their story starts in Campcraft. This is where the story deviates from when Lorecraft happens to when the Campcraft timeline happens. Because while they did survive the event in the Campcraft version of the timeline for the character, in Lorecraft they do not. They end up in the afterlife in Lorecraft. In Campcraft they end up traveling. The book and quill also represents the letters that they would end up writing to the fire wand guy. But of course, if you saw the the trailer that I posted last week, or if you saw if you saw the trailer last week, and which will be in the video next week, you will see that there is a map that they were left by a mysterious entity. And if you want to know what the map looks like, it's just this. It's just this, with a place marked called "Go Here." I'm pretty sure that's the translation. That's what I meant the translation to be. So that's just that. I figure since you can't really see it in the video, it'd be fun to show it off, even though it's very simple for what is there. Then you have, of course, that leads to the portal, which is represented by obsidian. So you have obsidian here. I do have a texture pack that makes the nether portal look orange, and the obsidian look a little bit more orange as well, like a browner color. So it works well. And then I have had it backlit by the glowstone. So, but the obsidian also is a good reference to the corruption arc that's currently going on in the server. So, and my main team is the Clockworkers. That's where I'm currently based. Although I'm also, and so I was able to meet up with most of the members on the first day, which will be, so you'll see that in the first episode. And on the first day, we were also starving, and it was very helpful to get some pumpkin pie from the Mountaineers. The Mountaineers are someone who I'm also great allies with, and yeah, I was trying to think of what could represent the Mountaineers, and pumpkin pie is what ended up happening, because I really appreciated it. It really helped me not have to worry about food when I was trying to figure out where exactly I was going. And then for me, the most help that I've been doing on the server is working on the pumpkin and melon farm. The pumpkin farm I just extended, but the melon farm in the Clockworkers village is just completely what I made, and it's very helpful. So I decided to put melons because that's what I've been mainly doing on the server. Although I've also become friends of the Top Hat Foundation and a few others because of the mystery going on, and it's also nice that it's specifically like a leather top hat or something that I would make, because I've accidentally opened up, not accidentally, but because of how things went on, I ended up creating this, like, I'm opening a clothing shop related to the, just in general. So I'm making skins for people, basically. I have made so far two skins and then variants. So I'm making a canonical clothing shop so I can make skins for people and get paid for it, because my character, from traveling and needing to repair their own clothes, knows how to sew. And that just sort of went on from there, which is really cool. It's a small bit of lore that I didn't intend to have a big part of my character, but because of how things happened, it just ended up becoming one of the mainstays of my character. So my character is an active tailor now, and I find that really cool, and I've had positive reception to my clothing so far. it's really nice, and I hope to make a clothing store, like an actual set, so I'll have like a desk, some storage area, maybe. I want to sell leather goods, like leather and wool goods, except I need cow eggs, or like just cows in general, so I can harvest the leathers for like the outfits, so that if people want armor stands and need leather stuff for armor stands, I can supply that. And but I do have some sheep eggs, so I can make the wool ones, but I also need to make sure that I have different colored dyes. We'll figure it out. I also don't have a name for the shop yet. I'm still figuring that out. But I do know that I want to make a Hearthwood Lodge. Hearthwood Lodge is sort of the name of this diner that I want to create because reasons. Because I think it'd be fun to just have this sort of diner set up where people could just hang out by like a fire or have a meeting place, sort of like a tavern-ish area. And I think that would be fun. And then as part of the lodge, the lounge, it's lodge. It meant to be Hearthwood Lounge. I misplaced that. But Hearthwood Lodge would be an interesting one to just have in general. But the Hearthwood Lounge, it's supposed to be a lounge because it's people lounging around, so you can get food, or you can just hang out and socialize. And part of that is going to be the Flora Connections game that I want to make using barrels and different plants, which I'm trying to design, but I also need 27 of. I mean, I guess I could just go off maybe 10. Point is, I need a lot. I need every plant in the Minecraft. I need at least 27, and then like a few other things, like I think grass blocks. I'll also do it because I've been liking um, the Moon Phases mini game on Google, and so I've just been trying to figure out how to make that into a game which you can play with a barrel, and I will be designing some redstone contraption to help people sort of like pull from a deck and keep track of points. So I don't have all of the exact game design principles in place yet, and I probably should do that, but it will be called Flora Connections because the idea behind the game is that the deity, the like spirit of the nether and the spirit of the void are having an argument over who knows the how life better, who knows about more about life. The nether spirit believes that they know better because there is some life in the nether. There's a lot of creatures. There are from the hoglins to the piglins to the blazes to the ghasts to the striders to the fungi, the crimson and warped forests. Because so then the nether spirit does have an argument to make. However, the void has existed since the beginning of time, so has seen the nether creation, has seen the overworld creation, just has more experience. And so the void entity believes that no, I know more. And in order so they stop fighting, the overworld entity decided, hey, you both, let's have you compete to see which one's better, because we both know that we all know that I actually know the more, because I have the most amount of life and most variety of life. Between all the biomes, between all of the like the diversity in creatures, I have the most amount of life. I even have civilizations. So why don't we test you two on how much you know about me? So that's sort of where the idea of floral connections come from, because they're actively getting tested on just life in general. So so for the first version of the game, I'll probably just focus on plants in the overworld, and then I'll be trying to extend to just including some basic things like maybe having different, I don't know, the different dimensions, going to the aquatic, going into the caves maybe. I don't know. It started out as like, hey, flowers could be good, and then I realized I could also just include the saplings and maybe vines and stuff. So I'm trying to figure out how exactly it's all going to work, but that's my main plan. I'm hoping to create once the base gets settled for the clockworkers, because we're a bit slow with making our mega base. But once things are figured out, I will have something where it's the clothing store, the lounge, and then a game playing area, all in one building, plus my storage area. I really need to work on design, but everything will happen somehow. And if you're wondering if the bookshelf colors, the books that I have in the chiseled bookshelf, if they're relevant, yes they are. You have the green on top, and then you have the brown and blue on the bottom. The exact orientation of them is not relevant, but the colors are. I decided to just have that since I needed a set piece to put the map on in the video. But anyway, I'm going to go edit this so I can have it out on the Sunday, even if I didn't have it in time for Saturday because of technical issues. I'll at least have something out this week. I will still have kept my streak of posting every week. Just had some issues. At least posted this weekend. Anyway, hope you have a good day, night, whatever time it is for you, and hope to see you next time. Bye!